So this is Louis, back again, and as of earlier, I didn't have any inspiration. I lacked inspiration. I didn't know what to talk about. I could have been doing something productive, editing videos and whatnot, but I didn't have the inspiration to do that. I decided to procrastinate. I decided to, play some video games. I didn't feel like being constructive, being productive. I didn't feel like talking about much of anything. But, as always, those of us that are patient, we eventually hit pay dirt by something coming out of nowhere, coming out of the ether and smacking us right in the face. And there it is, just luck, inspiration, flash, bam, just there it is. There's something to talk about. And what I'm here to talk about is Tell Me Why, which is Don't Nod's next game. And I'm so grateful to them. They're wrapping up Life is Strange 2 in December, right at the beginning, first week, December 3rd. They're wrapping it up. And it's unfortunate because it's been kind of hit or miss. Those of you that have been playing it along with me, first 2 episodes, very entertaining, very fun. 3rd episode, okay, kind of boring. 4th episode, crazy, but also really hectic and stupid, but mildly entertaining. The 5th episode, we can only hope it's as bad as all the rest. Tell Me Why? I don't know. It's a question. Will it be so objectively bad and cringy that we get another Nick? We get another moment in time where we have to basically pause the game because we're doubled over in laughter. Can we find a new tier of cringe? Can we elevate to the next level? I mean, we are entering into 2020, the official, the starter date of the Clown World decade, the first year of that decade. Will this game bring it to the next tier? We can only hope. But, what is this game? There's a few things I want to talk about here, but I'll start with this. What is this game? So, Don't Nod is creating a game where you play as 2 characters, twins, and they offer the typical David Cage level of, like, twins have special powers sort of fucking bullshit that the Nazis thought as well. Like, like this mythical fucking nonsense that, I don't know. It's just like, when you are making fucking Stephen King and David Cage look like, and M. Night Shyamalan look like fucking visionaries in their art form, like, man, like, when you are a hack fan fiction writer, like, that's the level you're on. I mean, normally I would hate it, but there's a beauty to this because I can make fucking money off of it, but that's later in the video. For starters, what is this video? So this is a game, a narrative game, about a little girl that watches her mother fucking Kurt Cobain herself, literally blow her head off with a fucking shotgun. And that trauma leads her to becoming like a psychic tranny. Female to male tranny. And the plot of the game is you and your sister, who's, I guess, functionally normal, let's say. You and your sister trying to figure out why your mother committed suicide. Now, one would think that if you're going to talk about trannies, that you don't want to enter in the big 40. You don't want to enter in that factor. You shouldn't be bringing up that big glaring number, that big huge association with trannies. You would think you'd be smart enough not to bring that up, but you gotta remember, these people are French leftist douchebags. Like, they look towards San Francisco and all the insanity there, and despite the fact that France itself is also a nightmare land, especially Paris, like, they look at San Francisco and think that's the model for France. I mean, honestly, you're not really far off. I mean, like, you traded the homeless for Muslims, but you're not exactly far off from it being a fucking totally dysfunctional third world, status nation. You're not really far off from that. But in this case, that is why they're doing it. Like, for those of you that don't understand, like, people that are being rational about this, saying, like, why in the world would they do this? Why in the world would Xbox make this an exclusive? Why would Microsoft make this an exclusive? Like, where is the audience for this game? There is no audience. The audience that exists for this game is myself and 2 virtue signalers on Twitter, and that's it. It's going to be journos, me, and 2 people on Twitter that play this fucking game. There is no way in hell that this game is going to make any fucking money unless it is so... I mean, it could make money based on the fact that they're putting no effort into this. It's like your crew animating to some degree and you with bottom-level voice actors reading some lines. And that's it. The graphics are the same. Everything's the same. Color palette's the same. Everything's the same. This is just the same engine and same everything. It's not even aesthetically different as far as I can see. It's just the same sort of shit. It's just they're moving on to the next fucking shitty story. And that's it. That's as much as they're investing into this. So this is not going to make any money. And I doubt Life is Strange 2 made any money. But so long as they have the money to keep going, they're just going to keep going, I guess. And keep dipping into that well of virtue signaling for the sake of running a studio. Like, that's the purpose for what they exist. Is like clout on Tumblr and Twitter. And that's it. That's the only basis in which their studio exists. But the beauty of this story and the beauty of this game is the second factor of the commentary, which is it is cringe that I can milk. You know, I like playing these games and laughing at it, and I'm sure you guys enjoy watching me play them in that. At least a good portion of you do. But what I like is making money.
Hello, I like money.
That's my favorite part of playing Dontnod games, is I get to laugh at your dog shit games and make money in the process. And it's not like Mass Effect 3, Mass Effect Andromeda, where I have to watch series that I love die or anything like that. I get to enjoy watching your studio produce shit, objectively bad games for a phantom audience. I mean, I'm part of it. I'm part of your audience, where I laugh at the garbage you produce, and I make a lot of money in the process. I mean, one of the episodes for Life is Strange 2 was either 1 or 2. I think it might have been 2. I made a couple $100. Like, somewhere like $300, almost $400. On top, like, the stream, clipping the stream, and talking about it again in another stream. I made almost $400 for like a couple hours worth of effort, maybe a few hours worth of effort. To put that in perspective, I made more money that day playing that game than I did working for the company that I work for currently, which that can't end soon enough, I'll tell you, and I hope it will in December. But yeah, I made more money playing that stupid game of yours, one episode of it, than I did actually working my job earlier in the day. That's the context in which we talk about the second half of this, which is the people commenting, and I'll post it, the people replying to the Polygon article, you know, in their Twitter replies. They're like, oh man, bigots are going to hate this game. Oh, they're going to make videos about this game. Yes, because I make money. I make money laughing at the big 40. You could ban me off of YouTube. You could ban me off of Twitter. You could ban me off of every platform. But I will find another, and I will keep laughing. I will keep laughing at the expense of the SJWs and all the insecure, bloated women, the female incels, and the freaking virtue signaling, beta leftist French developers that produce this shit. I will continue laughing at your expense and making money in the process. And I'm not doing much of anything, just offering some one-liners, reacting. You know, I'm barely putting anything into it. And yet I am reaping rewards in laughing at your expense. That is it's not even the cherry or the icing. Like, that is half the cake right there, is laughing at you and making so much money in the process. Hundreds of dollars per episode, laughing. The only downside is that not every episode's a winner. You know, episodes 3 and 4 for Life is Strange 2, I didn't make nearly as much money. I still made probably a few $100s, but not as much money as episodes 1 and 2. Those are really special. And so I'm hoping and praying that Dontnod, you fucking French beta dickheads, really lay it on thick this time. Really just put in the time, put put in the effort and make this as bad as you possibly can. So I can make the money. So I can, it's like the fucking guy from Vegas Vacation. Like, oh, the money. Oh, give me the money. I got the money. Oh, it's so beautiful. So I'm not angry. I'm not sitting here foaming at the mouth saying, I can't believe this company that I have no respect for is making this cringe-tastic game. No, I'm celebrating it with you. Just hold on, guys. Don't kill yourselves just yet, all right? Don't join the statistics of 40% of the people of that demographic. Stay with me for just a few moments so I can have a laugh at your expense, so I can make money off of your self-inflicted misery, because that's what this is. I mean, the game doesn't even leave any room for any doubt. Like, you make this a stereotype. Like, it's like that's one of the things that people say that are on the right, that trannies especially, and I'm not even saying that I necessarily agree with this. They include gays in this when they say it, that these people are just mentally ill, that they have suffered some kind of extreme trauma in their life, and because of that, they are severely mentally ill. And in essence, they should be just institutionalized. It's amazing to me that a woke French dev, and this is how you know, they're foreign. They don't get this. They're foreign. They're just virtue signaling. They don't understand. They go out of their way to make the story centered around the mom's suicide. A deeply traumatic event that the tranny witnessed herself in the process. Like, I'm actively surprised that they're not getting more shit for that. Because, like I said, the Big 40. That is the glaring thing as it relates to all this. You're using this. You're trying to capitalize on this. And, in essence, I'm not trying to capitalize off of your misery, but I am, in the sense, trying to capitalize off of the misery that will come when this game comes out. And I'm not angry and bitter. I'm laughing at it. I'm laughing at you for thinking that this is going to be anything more than a pile of shit that I can milk for money and laughs. You are the joke. This company is a joke. This game is a fucking gag. It is self-satire. The jokes write themselves. And my hope is that it's just as bad as Life is Strange 2, if not even worse, so I can reap what you are sowing. That is my objective here. It is a break from the pace of talking about just how awful the Western industry is. I mean, this game it's not really anything different. I mean, we have similar trash in so many different games at this point. So many. I mean, I just did 2 videos on the Outer Worlds, and it's the same deal. I mean, a lot of people are dropping their flags. A lot of people are now moving away from defending that game because they've come to terms with the fact that it's not a matter of me being right. It's just a matter of objective reality being what it is. This is not a good game, and that's it. In this instance, I can't imagine anyone thinking this is going to be a good game. But, you know, at the very minimum, it's not irritating to me. I'm not losing anything over this. You're not, you know, hurting my feelings in any kind of way. You're not disappointing me in any way. A disappointment is that it's boring. That's my fear, is that it's just boring. It's not cringe-tastic and awful, so I can enjoy it and make money off of it. I keep mentioning it, but I'm stressing it for a reason. You have to understand. You have to understand that this is gold. This is a gold mine that I want to dig into. Give me the game. Release it earlier than summer 2020. Have it be ready for January 2020 to kick off the Clown World decade, and I'll be right there, capitalizing off of it. In the same sense of Red Letter Media talking about bad movies and cringe and whatnot, in the same sense as Mueller talking about Star Wars, in the same sense as Jeremy from the Quartering talking about Brie Larson and literally buying himself like a shed and an entire basement's worth of fucking arcade cabinets, talking about basically Brie Larson and a couple other fucking people. This is a gold mine. I see it. I see the gold in them there hills, and I'm sitting here with a fucking, a sifting pan and a pickaxe, ready to go, man. I am fucking Daniel Day-Lewis, and there will be blood, and, I'm not sure what the analogy would be perfectly. I guess it would be basically after he breaks his leg in the fall and then has climbed up to the top of the mine that he built himself, and he's basically pushing himself with one leg back into town. I'll see if I can find a clip of that scene from the movie. That's me! I'm ready to do the legwork of crawling my way back to town with a few flakes of gold. And, building my way up into becoming an oil baron. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to be the cringe baron of YouTube. Let's do it, Don't Nod, together. You and me. Hand in hand, you frog fucks. We are going to make YouTube great again with cringe compilations of your fucking game. Your games! It's not even limited to this one. It's so many of them at this point. It's beautiful. I love it. And I love you, you stupid fucks, for continuing. It's so funny because with Life is Strange, I don't know if I'll be able to find an article to show you this, but I actually criticized that game, and I meant it. There's aspects to the original Life is Strange that were redeeming, but I, critiqued it in a sense to say, all the things that were wrong with it and that the devs should listen to criticism. They went out of their way, and I'll see if I can find it, where they basically told everyone, we're not listening to criticism. We're not listening to what people are saying in reviews. We're not listening to what anyone has to say about our games. We're just going to go forward with whatever we think is good. And it's led to right now. It's led to today, where they're just in their own echo chamber. Where, like I said, the only reason they're doing this game is to fucking virtue signal. They're not gonna make any money off of this. They're not. They're not gonna make money on this fucking game. Maybe because the Xbox handing them some sort of exclusivity deal, they're gonna get money. Maybe in the same sense, if you're a developer who's just shoveling shit on a PC, you put it on Epic Games Store exclusively to get the money. And wink, wink, David Cage. But it's not fair to David Cage. Some of his games are not awful. Arguably. But if you got trash products that are kind of past their point and no one really wants, but you're putting it on a new platform, hey, you can do worse by, selling out to the Chinese on the Tencent store and making some money in the process. For the games you put out on Epic, the several that he did, he probably made a couple million, maybe. I don't really know. I don't really know how much their games are worth in the eyes of, Epic. In the eyes of Tencent. I don't really know how much those games are worth, but maybe you got a couple million out of it. You got to recall that even in the case of David Cage, it's just him, as far as I'm aware. He's not like Sam Lake and his studio, Remedy, where they have to keep going from contract to contract to contract to contract to try to keep their company afloat. David Cage, if I recall correctly with Quantic Dream, it's just them. So they got to make their money somehow. I don't really get it. I don't see what angel investor is going to swoop in unless it's the French government just giving them checks. Because I know they have public subsidies in France for gaming. Or game development, I don't really know how they're continuing to make these games when they don't make any fucking money. There's no way. But they're still working on them. I don't know. It's a labor of love, but you got to pay for them somehow. But yeah, my hope is that I reap the reward of this. I want to make money off of your shitty games because it breathes life into my channel, although not entirely. I've always had difficulty with subscriber growth, but at least for the small audience I have, many, many, many enjoy it, and they are more than willing to part with their money in the process of enjoying the cringe alongside me. And I appreciate that. I always appreciate the generosity of my audience. And I appreciate the generosity of Don't Nod. And I mean it too! I mean it! You're not like BioWare. Whereas with BioWare, they're boring and bad. They're boring. Their games are boring. Really. Dragon Age Inquisition might be one of the most boring games I've ever played in my life. I've yet to be able to finish it. And I've tried genuinely tried to finish their games. But with Don't Nod, je ne sais quoi. of cringe. That is what you have. You have it, Don't Nod, and I love it. I love every minute of it because it's entertaining. It is entertaining. It is an X factor on my channel. And I don't really do it justice. I'm only so good as an entertainer. I only have so much talent. But your trash brings that talent out of me. It brings those quips. It brings those jokes. It brings that entertainment factor, that X factor. It brings it out of me. It pushes me to my best. And I'm so grateful for what you do in that way. I'm eternally grateful for the money you've made me and the smiles you put on my face and the faces of many in my audience. They all appreciate it, and so do I. I just hope you know that. These bad games, they give my channel energy. They give me inspiration to record, and they give energy to my channel. They inspire my audience to inspire me, to push me, to provoke me into providing them more content to enjoy, for me to entertain them and for them to be entertained. It's just beautiful. It's just this symbiotic connection that we all share with these terrible studios and their terrible games. It's fantastic. And I am enjoying every minute of it. I can only begin to tell you how much I enjoy looking and laughing and enjoying as you enjoy it all the way as I do. So I'll leave it there, and I'll wait and see what you have to say. I'll see if the anticipation's building in the comment section. You let me know what you think. Put it down below. And as always, I haven't said this recently, but support my channel. Subscribe to me on Subscribestar. Donate to my channel. Visit my affiliates in the description below. Subscribe to me on Gab, Twitter, my secondary channel, and whatnot. You can find everything in the description. Subscribe to all of it. Support me. And let us hold hands together as one in unity and laugh as gaming continues to spiral out of fucking control and into the fucking abyss that we're all staring into, where nothing shall return. All right? Thanks for listening.